Here is Governor Eddie Bozekel.
Again, Feliz Pascua and Merry Christmas to my fellow Guamanians. You know, they didn't wear Santa hats or elf boots, but they donned big smiles and they worked like a factory. This past weekend, Santa's helpers worked their labor of love to accomplish the colossal goal of processing your tax refunds. Some of you preferred to wait for the mail to come out, but for tens of thousands of others, they needed their money right away.
Thank you, Mr. Governor.
After 3 to 4 years of waiting, these people finally got their refunds. I would be remiss if I didn't speak to the people who were turned away Friday in the long lines. I want you to know that all the volunteers felt very bad that they couldn't serve you that day. So we got together that evening and we ironed out some of the kinks so that we could serve all of you on Saturday. And we did it. One way or another, everyone was served. A few of the comments I got as I spoke to the people in the line Saturday were of a concern for overtime the government employees were making. I want to clear up any misconception. The people who were checking your IDs, who were validating whether you had a refund, who were processing your check and giving it to you, they were not getting paid to do that. They were not getting any overtime. Santa's helpers were those outstanding employees of the Department of Revenue Taxation, Department of Administration, the Bureau of Budget and Management Research, Bureau of Statistics and Plans, Department of Education, and the Governor's Office. They volunteered to make the check distribution happen. And after years of watching the Guamanian people suffer without their refunds, they were happy to do whatever they could to get the checks out over 2 days. And for them, it was a labor of love.
It's a good thing that.
How long have you been waiting for tax refunds?
Since, well, we're waiting for 2009 and 2010.
So it's gonna be really weird.
It's gonna be good. Pay bills
Do you
off.
think the governor should go for the next bond and get?
I think he should. I think he should in a sense where, make it be like the States where we only wait 7 to 15 days and we have our next tax refund. For 2011, prepare for that happening. Instead of having this where we have to drive to a certain place, we have to wait in line for what is already 4.5 hours. It should be organized already to where we don't have to do this.
But they weren't alone. They were joined by the men and women of the Guam Police Department, the Guam Fire Department, Customs, Airport Police, Port Police, Department of Corrections, the Civilian Police Reserve, and CAPE. They kept the lines orderly and they kept the peace.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I also want to thank the management and retailers of the Agana Shopping Center, Guam Premier Outlets, and the Micronesia Mall for letting us use their facilities. I want to also thank Ruby Tuesday, the Alcorns, and Chuck E. Cheese and Chili's. Brian Artero gave food to the volunteers, and so did businessman Brant McCready. Also, I want to give kudos to Dedido Mayor Melissa Savares, Tumaning Mayor Francisco Blas, and Hagatna Mayor John Cruz for providing logistics as well. Yeah, there were problems. Would I do it all over again? I don't think so. No, we won't. Because from here on out, at least in our administration, we are working to get you your tax refunds on time. And that means within a few weeks, or at the most months, of filing your return. I wish the Democratic leadership in the legislature would have listened to us and authorized the entire bond. And this way we wouldn't have to go back for Series B. We need the second series to pay the 2011 refunds. I'm sure that the 10 senators who fought for your refunds the first time will see it your way again.
Awesome. What he did now is awesome. I know he's going to continue again for next.
Do you think we should go for a next bond just to keep getting your tax refunds and making sure we get them out on time?
Yeah, sure. If that's a governor who, planning on doing it again, then yeah, I know he's going to be, all the people are going to be very happy and you know, for especially this now, like what is said, the holidays. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy for what the governor did is very awesome. Yes. Thank you very much, Governor, and everybody there that is listening.
Thank you. Do you think we should go out and get the next bond to pay all the tax refunds? Yeah.
Except for this kind of conditions, because you know how people, you know, they're gonna get tired lining up, you know, things like that. But as far as getting the tax right now, I mean, everybody's happy.
As for the writings of the wrongs of the past, my fellow Guamanians, we did it. We ended the 20-year cycle of late tax refunds, and it was Santa's helpers who closed it out and made it happen this weekend. If you see them around, please pat them on the back and thank them for a job well done. They did what they did for no other reason than to see you smile. So Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Wow. I just noticed that pat on the back right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
That felt good.
All around the table. All around. What an exhausting weekend this was. A lot of
Yeah.
emotional ups and downs as
Yeah.
well.
You know, there are people who had some comments about the long lines and the hours they're waiting. That isn't a testament to itself, the desperation of people. You know, these checks, and we allow that opportunity for checks either to be picked up or mailed. That money was transferred to the government of Guam at midnight. 8 hours later, we had lines open, ready for distribution, and for people to pick up. And of course, we are mailing out the checks as of today. But it's a testament also to the desperation of people who have had to wait for money that was theirs from the very beginning and have had to wait years for it. So there was the inconvenience of waiting those hours in a hot line.
Well,
But
everybody's
I think that pales in comparison to the years that they've had to
Oh,
wait
sure.
in the past.
Sure, but I think that a lot of the criticism that came out of Friday were people who were turned away at the
Sure.
door. Now, you said that night you guys worked out the kinks. What
Sure.
were some of the kinks that you encountered on that day that made it run so smoothly
When
on
well,
Saturday?
first of all, when you see the mass, you know, and you see the number of people that came, so you're looking at about 50% of those folks that are owed tax refunds. You can make certain percentages, but usually you think about 50% of those people owe tax refunds to go on the line. That's pretty heavy. So for the large masses of people. Now, we looked at what we had in terms of our human resources, how they were distributed. We looked at the logistics, and we worked certain things out on the fly on Friday that we felt with this mass. And that was, of course, eliminating some of the work that needed to be done in terms of recording. So redundancies where certain folks would be checking identifications in certain areas and having to recheck them again and fill those blanks in. So we eliminated some of those redundancies and repetitions. We did a little bit more sorting in terms of the lines and where they would go, so not so many people would be in direct sunlight. And then, of course, most importantly, we added staff. Come Saturday, we saw the areas where there was a need, and in fact, not all areas were in need. So we basically doubled the number of staff that were being utilized for the processing of these checks, and with that, the lines on Saturday were long. Everyone thinks the lines on Friday were longer, or there were more people on Friday. There was actually more people earlier on Saturday. The thing was,
Because everybody stayed.
there was a lot of people there was more people on lines on Saturday,
Right.
but we moved faster.
Because you had more people on
Yeah,
board to
more on board.
accommodate them.
Exactly.
If you had known what you know now, was there ever in this conversation the possibility of utilizing the field house or breaking up the distribution sites into two separate areas where you would have alphabetical lines in different
Yeah.
parts?
There's always ways you can improve.
Well, you're not going to do it again.
But I
so
tell
it
you,
doesn't matter.
and this is where I hand it to my people. You know that we saw the numbers, the raw numbers of people that come on Friday, and to see the folks that, and I look at John, I look at Marie here, and all those other folks that were within the system there, how quickly we dealt with an issue and how fast we moved it. You guys, any new restaurant that opens, or if you saw Disneyland open, no matter how great the logistics are and the plannings in the beginning, there's always going to be some bugs, and you have to work them out. And I want to congratulate the group, because when you see the movement of people on the first day, And I believe there was either a tripling or a quadrupling in terms of the turnover, in terms of processing of checks that occurred in the second day as opposed to the first day. And yeah, we know there were certain things that needed to be fixed. They had to be fixed, and we fixed them in the second day. But for all that inconvenience and all those folks that are complaining, we're sorry. But we're also sorry that it ever came to this situation. It's been 2 decades in the building. And as far as I'm concerned in our administration, this isn't going to happen again. We are going to get people out their tax refunds on time.
I'm happy. I'm really happy we're getting our tax returns.
About getting a check?
Great, man. I feel great.
All right. You think
That's the best governor ever.